What's up, everyone? It's Miguel from Strategy Rewind Podcast. If this is your first time listening and you're asking yourself, what is Strategy Rewind Podcast all about? Well, let's talk about it. The truth is that oftentimes we feel stuck and we feel as though we can't live out our purpose. Because of this, we need to step back and look at the bigger picture. We need to implement a strategy that will help us have a breakthrough moment. That's what we talk about here on the Strategy Rewind podcast. My name is Miguel Lebron, and I am a personal growth strategist. Thank you so much for being connected here today with me. I want to talk about overthinking. The fact is that oftentimes we say, we stay so stuck on our thoughts that we don't take action. There's this awesome quote from Amelia Earhart, and she said, the most effective way to do it is to do it. And too often we're overthinking, overanalyzing, and we don't take the necessary steps to actually put into place a strategy, to actually put into place what we want to see for our lives, for ourselves. It may be that we're overthinking because we're fearful of what may or may not transpire. The fact of the matter is that anxiety is something that strikes everyone, and anxiety is using today's energies for things that may or may not happen tomorrow. The truth is that anxiety, if it strikes, it paralyzes and it stops us from actually being able to live out our purpose. And so, how do we overcome this overthinking pattern? How do we overcome these ideas of possibilities that may or may not happen, that it may not work out, that they may talk negative about us, that we may have pushback or naysayers or people that, are toxic? Well, how do we overcome overthinking? Because the truth is, so many people right now are stuck because of their overthinking. And so I want to lay out some things that we can put into action today so that you can stop overthinking. And as Amelia Earhart said, do it. Or I suppose Nike stole that from her, the just do it. But here it is. Number one, let's talk about it. Number one, meditation is not meltdown. Meditation is not meltdown. Oftentimes we confuse meditation with overthinking to the point that we melt down and break down and start crying and weeping and start sobbing and start living in this moment. And that's not what meditation is. Meditation is a moment where you stop what you're doing and you control your breathing and you relax your brain, find a quiet space. And oftentimes meditation can include a soft song, right? You're not looking to put on song to get you hyped. That's not what that's about. It's not for dancing. It's a moment for you to just calm everything down. Meditation is something where you can bring everything down and start rearranging these feelings and actually looking at these thoughts. So no, meditation is not meltdown. It's not that you're looking to aim to try to come out sobbing and much more frustrated than what you went in. If you're trying to meditate and you're coming out frustrated more than when you went into meditation session, we got to relook at that, because that's not the objective there. Meditation is not meltdown. Meditation is for you to take a moment, take a deep breath, bring down your stress level, slow everything down. We live in a busy world where it's go, 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 go. The next meeting, the next post, the next tweet, the next this, the next that, the next. You ever notice that some companies, when they're promoting this big, grandiose thing, they're always talking about this is the next big thing. And so often we're chasing the next big thing that we forget about what's right in front of us. The objective of meditation is to pull back the reins, slow everything down, and actually allow yourself to hear yourself breathe. Like, when was the last time you heard yourself breathing? That's the objective. So no, meditation is not meltdown. That's number one. Number two, lower the bar to raise consistency. Oftentimes, the reason we're overthinking is because of the fact that we want to be perfect at it. I got to do it, but I got to do it this way. It has to be this way. It has to be perfect. It has to be just right. It has to, and we're raising and raising and raising and raising and raising and raising and raising the bar that, well, we don't execute. We don't do anything because we're overthinking on how perfect it has to be. Lower the bar. By lowering the bar, you can raise consistency. And here is the secret. You want to be consistent because by becoming consistent, then you can raise the bar. But if you immediately raise the bar, you're going to be overthinking of what I can and cannot do, of what I can and cannot accomplish. So again, lower the bar. All right. Instead of saying, I have to put out 50 pieces of content, why don't you pull back, lower the bar, and say, I have to put out one content in the next 7 days. That's it. Instead of saying I have to write 72 blogs, or how about one blog in the next 72 hours? Right? Pull back, lower the bar. Instead of saying I have to become the next John Cena, pull back. How about drinking 3 bottles of water in one day? If you drink 3 bottles of water, that's 6 glasses of water. Like, that's great. And then you start increasing the days, and then you start increasing the amount, and then you start implementing other things. Lower the bar to raise consistency. All right. So number 1 was meditation is not meltdown. Number 2 is lower the bar to raise consistency. Number 3 is brain dump. This kind of ties into number 1, where meditation may include writing. Well, brain dump simply says, grab a piece of paper and put it all on that paper. You may need 2 sheets of paper. You may need a notebook. I don't know. What I'm saying is throw it all out there. Some people have the issue that they actually brain dump on social media. You might have seen these people. You might be this person. Don't do that. Okay. Because you might end up writing something that's too personal and you don't want to put all of that out there. Or number 2, you might put out something out there that isn't congruent with the person you want to be. So find yourself a pen, find yourself some piece of paper, find yourself a notebook, find yourself a writing utensil. It can be a crayon. I don't care, but you need to brain dump. Just start writing. You listen to this. You don't need punctuation. You don't need commas and periods, exclamation points. You just need to write. Forget about grammar and Grammarly. Use that later on. This is just writing. Oh, nobody's going to understand my chicken scratch. It doesn't matter. This isn't for anybody else. This is for you to stop storing all of those thoughts in your mind and release them on paper. One of the biggest issues that I see oftentimes is that we have ideas, but their ideas are coming to our mind and we leave them there. And then what happens is that instead of actually writing it down, we try to leave it in our mind. And what happens is that, well, the day goes on, frustration comes along, other responsibilities come along, and before you know it, you've forgotten what could have been $1 million idea. So brain dump. All right, let's go to number 4. Get clear on your big vision. Get clear on the big vision, on your big picture. Get clear on this. Get real clear on this. Because what happens is that oftentimes we're aiming at so many things that we lose sight on what we actually want to accomplish. You notice if you've ever played dart, you notice that they have right the different colors, and then they have the center, the bullseye. Nobody is saying I want to just reach somewhere. No, they have a specific target. I want to get bullseye, one, bam, right in the middle. Or maybe you're playing for points, and you say, all right, let me get that 50, just 50, that's 100, and then I'll swing for the big one. But the truth of the matter is that you have to have a target in sight. You have to have a big picture of what you want to accomplish, of where you want to be, of who you want to be. Because if you just keep aiming and swinging at the dark, the truth is you're going to get frustrated and you're going to think that I'm not good enough. And it's not that you're not good enough, it's that you're not aiming at anything. You need to have a big picture. Number 1, meditation isn't meltdown. Number 2, lower the bar to raise consistency. Number 3, brain dump. Number 4, get clear on your big picture. And number 5, self-care isn't selfish. Self-care isn't selfish. There are moments that you need to step back from all the hustle and bustle, and you need to take a moment for you. Oftentimes, my wife and I, my wife and I will push each other to be great, but we'll also push each other to say, hey, take a minute for you. Go for a bike ride, go for a walk, go listen to music, go do something for you. And I'll stay with the kids. I'll do this. I'll hold down the fort. Just go do you for a moment, because we often forget about, well, we forget about ourselves, and we become all of these things. We want to do all of these things, and we forget that we are human beings, not human doings. And so if you find yourself in a situation where everything is overwhelming and everything causes overthinking, then you need to settle things down. And one of the ways to do this is to focus on you just for a moment. Take a moment for you. Take a day, take 2 days, go to a hotel, get in a jacuzzi. Maybe you're like, hey, I can't afford no jacuzzi right now. Okay, well, get in the shower, like relax for a moment. Do something that's nice for you, whether that's writing, reading a book, riding a bike, whatever it may be. Self care isn't selfish. And of course, as we know, Amelia Earhart said the most effective way to do it is to do it. How do you overcome overthinking? That's what we're talking about today. And I hope that today you put into action these strategies, because if you put this into action, let me tell you, I believe you'll have a breakthrough moment, and you'll be able to accomplish all of the things that you've been putting off for far too long. If you found this podcast to be, well, enlightening and insightful to you and helpful in your journey, please consider subscribing, sharing, rate, reviewing, do all of those amazing things. But above all, please tell a friend to tell a friend, because there's somebody right now overthinking and under executing and not living to their full potential. If you know who that someone is, share this content with them. And if that's you and you want to take a deeper dive, head over to miguellebron.com and click on the button to set up a free 30-minute strategy session so that you can obtain your breakthrough moment. Can't head over to the website now? Don't worry, just head over to the show notes of this particular podcast episode, and there you'll be able to do the same. Hey, have a wonderful day. Remember, I believe in you. Surround yourself with people that will nourish your vision.